That's the wrong one. That one. That's also the wrong one. There we go. Sorry. I don't know what happened there. Hello, and welcome back to Retrieving Sanity with your podcast host, Keegan. And this is your podcast for all mental health, addiction, recovery issues, and topics. And I've got some questions for you, but mostly it's just, do you kind of wonder what shit goes on in your head? Because I know I do a lot, but I've got a guest here that actually is award-winning co-host of That Goes On in Our Heads. And her name is Gretchen, or I think you go by G-Rex on the podcast.
I do go by G-Rex on the podcast. And funny how that whole name came about. But like, I'm just so honored to be on your podcast. Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. I'm honored that you would even be on the podcast. Again, you're an award-winning podcast co-host, and I'm just Retrieving Sanity co-host, Keegan. So,
you know what? We started this 3 years ago. It's kind of a joke, right? So the podcast started because of me. I had a mental health breakdown, attempted suicide on Christmas Day, 2022. Thank God for 988 and that small glimmer of hope that things were going to get better. I was within 20 minutes of taking my life.
Ooh,
and the lady on the other end of the line, when I called 988, was the most compassionate person I've ever spoken to in my life. She gave voice to what was going on inside my head because I didn't understand it. At the time, I was 59 and a half. I'd been taught my entire life, we do not talk about mental health. Okay, you like shove it down until it has no place to go. But, I'm like 4'11", okay? Like, I had been shoving it down since, September of 2022, and it just didn't have any place to go. And nobody knew how depressed I was. I'm a true extrovert, empath. And as an extrovert, I hid my depression well. Not a badge of honor. So if you are an extrovert out there and you are masked up, take your mask off, because at the end of the day, the only person you end up hurting is yourself.
That's very true.
That's
very true.
There was a lot of really horrible shit that happened in a really short period of time. And for somebody who'd never been through that, like I didn't understand it. I was like, all I knew is like I'd show up to work every day and I'd be like, hey, how we doing? I'm great. And in the back of my head, I'm like, shit, I fucking just want to be done. And, I'd been offered an early retirement work, and, in all ways that was probably a good thing, but it was also kind of scary. At 59 and a half, there's still ageism in the network, in the workplace. And I still wanted my bougie toys. I had to have my iPhone, and I wanted to work. So that kind of led to part of that depression. And then my wife got shingles, and she was sick for 8 weeks. If you've ever been around anybody that has shingles, there's absolutely nothing you can do for them.
I had a small outbreak. It sucks.
It sucks, right? Yeah. And so, like, I took on all her pain and, not taking care of myself. And then I hit and killed a deer.
Oof.
And then I got catfished. But thankfully, like, I woke up enough out of my mental fog to not pay any money, but it still hurt and sucked really bad.
Oh.
We had a really close friend of ours pass away unexpectedly. My father-in-law passed away 2 days before Thanksgiving.
Oh.
And then I had accepted that offer from work to, take early retirement. Well, they took all my job duties away. So I was sitting around work for 8 hours a day with nothing to do and feeling like worthless. And it was such a horrible, hard feeling. And then you throw in seasonal depression, a little holiday depression. And then 2 weeks before everything I was finally done, we went to New York City, and it was the worst trip to New York City ever. If you ever want to listen to a really funny episode, maybe not around small children or adults with sensitive ears, go listen to season 1, episode 3. It recaps that whole trip and how nobody could figure out how depressed I was because it was totally out of character for me. Surprises me to this day.
Oh boy.
But as the healing kind of happened, after I made the call to 988, I went down and talked to my wife for like 3 hours. And
Mm.
like I said, she didn't even have any idea how depressed I was.
Ooh.
And that's, that's hard because as an
Mhm.
extrovert, we are very, very, very good at hiding what's going on behind it,
Yeah.
behind behind the mask.
Yep, yep.
Like I said, if you have a mask on, please take it off because at
Uh,
the end of the day, it only hurts you.
Yep.
And so, like the day, Christmas Day, I had wanted to go for a drive, but it was minus 22 here, so none of the cars started. And
Oh.
that was the final straw, right? I had come back in the house. I had a bottle of pills waiting for me on my dresser. I emptied them in
Mm.
my hands. My hands were shaking, but I had to remember 2 months ahead of time
Mhm.
that I had read about the 988 crisis hotline. And for
Mm.
anybody that doesn't know about 988, this is a
Mhm.
really important number, especially here in the States
Yep.
and in Canada. It is
Mhm.
the suicide and crisis hotline. So even if you're in crisis, you can
Mhm.
still go ahead and contact that phone number and they will get you to that next spot. They'll get you good men. Good man. It will they help you and they saved my life that day. Literally saved my life. So the
Mm.
next day I opened up onto social media to let people know what was going on
Mm.
because, I kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
wanted everybody kind of figure out what's going on in my head because there was a lot of shit.
Mhm.
And I had about 200 people reach out and say thank you
Whoa.
because now they felt seen, they felt
Mhm.
heard, and they felt validated. And
Wow.
that was like my first healer. And then my second healer was Dirty Skittles. Now, I use this term super loosely because I had retired like 4 months later, but she was my manager at the time. But we had been
Okay.
friends for like 7 years.
Mhm.
And every day before work, because we worked in a really toxic, horrible work environment, we would
Mm.
call and we would laugh. And we would laugh about shit you should never, ever, ever, ever laugh about. But here's the great thing about laughter. It's a natural healer.
Yeah.
And it releases that cortisol and gets some serotonin going, you get some endorphins going. And like even during the middle of the day when like shit was like blowing up, we would just
Mhm.
start laughing. Like we got in trouble so many times. We'd be sitting in a meeting and just start laughing about something we had talked about in the morning. So it was like during one of those conversations, she's like, "Hey, let's do a podcast." So we decided
Mm.
to drop our first episode on February 14th, 2023 in
Ooh.
honor of my mom. And I had done that because I
Mhm.
buried my mom in 1997 on Valentine's Day. And as part of my
Oh.
healing, kind of wanted to change the trajectory of that day because I was
Mhm.
tired of that day sucking the life out of me.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, we thought, okay, we're going to do 3 episodes and we'll be done. Okay.
Mhm.
Joke was completely on us. And I'm still to this day trying to figure out who those first people that were listening to us because we were idiots. All right. Like we are the exact opposite of clinical. And in the first season, we didn't have a whole lot of guests. We were
Mm.
gonna like try and do it on our own,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
we had like 10,000 downloads. And I'm like, who's listening to us?
Holy shit.
And we started like bringing guests on, and selfishly for us, it's like free therapy, right? We
Mhm. Yeah.
we talk to these really interesting, beautiful humans out there that
Mhm.
are doing exactly what I did. I turned all my horrible pain into something really good.
Mhm.
And, then in September and October of 2024, we won 2 awards. Still trying to figure out who else listening to us. Okay. Still trying to figure that out. And then in no, sorry, in December of 2024, we hit 1 million downloads.
Whoa.
And as of today, we are sitting around 2.8 million downloads and listened
Whoa.
to in over 100 countries.
God. Congratulations.
But, it goes to show you that, the world wants to change.
Mhm.
And, our mission has always been let's normalize how we talk about mental health
Yeah.
because there's no shame, there's no weakness in asking for help. And if you are
Mhm.
truly struggling out there, please pick up the phone and call 988
Mhm.
because you are loved, you are wanted, and you are needed in this world. And the world is a better place because you're here.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
if no matter what kind of crap is going on today, tomorrow could be better. But you
Mhm.
have to give that a chance. And, you
Yeah.
know, I listened to my own words, and I crazy shit, life gets a little lifey sometimes. So,
Mhm.
after I retired, I had gone to work for a real small consulting firm, and
Mm. Okay.
yeah, that was cool. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted to work, right? I just
Yeah.
didn't want to work that hard, so I worked part
Mhm.
time so I could work the podcast also. And
Ooh.
it was all well and good until November of last year when that small consulting firm got picked up by one of the big five.
Oh, no.
At the time, I was 61. If that had
Mhm.
happened in my 20s, I'd be like, hey, cool, yeah. But at 61,
Yeah.
I'm like, no. I had
Uh-huh.
like resting bitch face for days. But here's the cool thing, like therapy gave me tools that I could really use, and so that people knew right away what was going on, because this time
Mm.
I took that mask off. And once you have resting
No.
bitch face, you cannot turn that shit off, right? Like
No. Oh, no.
once it comes on, it doesn't turn off. But
Wow.
my wife
Uh-huh.
is completely the most awesome person in this world. We've been together for
Yeah.
30 years.
Ooh, congratulations.
And on December 21st, we had gone to the city. We'd gone to New York City for a couple of days before the holidays.
Mhm.
And we went to dinner, and she's like, "Listen, I know you hate your job. Quit."
Mm.
And
What?
how you get that feeling of like a weighted X-ray blanket just
Yeah.
being peeled off your shoulders. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
well, this feels good for a second. But then once again, we go back to the bougie shit. Like, I want a phone, and I have
Yeah.
bills to pay, and I still have a lot to give to the world.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so we were flying home on Sunday, and I forgot how long it takes for a plane to de-ice. It takes a couple hours.
Oh, no.
And so I had my phone, and I had
Uh-huh.
ChatGPT, and I had my resume. I threw my
Ooh.
resume into ChatGPT, and I was like, based on 45 years in corporate America and, everything we've done with the podcast, form an
Mhm.
independent consulting firm. And in about
Ooh.
2 minutes, it came back with like a long list of things. So I like cut that list by like 2/3 of it. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. No, nope, 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 nope. So I went back to work on January 2nd and handed in my
Mhm.
2 weeks notice. And on the same day, I registered my LLC with the state of New York. And I
Whoa.
opened up my own company, and I called it Schoser Talent and Wellness Solutions.
Oh, okay.
And I get to use not only like my techie side, but
Mhm.
I'm working a lot with like small companies and just individuals to
Uh-huh.
make sure that their mental health is in check. Because
Oh.
one thing that happens with small companies is they don't have the budget for tools like Calm for Business or
Mhm.
Talkspace, because they charge a lot of money per employee. Where
Mhm.
with me, I can build software that emulates what those bigger companies do, but for a
Huh.
lot lesser price
Huh.
point. And
Okay.
then I also created a course. I'm doing a beta test with friends over the
Uh-huh.
next 8 weeks, and it's called "It's All About Finding Your Joy."
Ooh. Okay.
Because
Ah.
at the end of the day, joy is intentional,
It
right?
is,
And
yeah.
no matter how horrible everything is right now, because things, let's I can't even put it lightly. The world's on fire, okay?
Mhm.
Literally on fire every single day. And by bringing just a tiny bit of joy into your life every single day
Mhm.
makes it worth it, right? Like, and
Yeah.
being grateful for what you have, and be able to set boundaries, and taking your mask off. And so
Mhm.
that's going to be an offering that I offer in January of next year,
Ooh.
just working
Okay.
out all the kinks. And
Yeah.
then I also wrote a book, and my book is with a publisher right now.
Okay.
Getting ready to it's I'm getting ready to put out a Indiegogo campaign so
Uh-huh.
I can get the funds to get the book out to the world. But
Ooh.
the people that read it
Uh-huh.
all told me three things: they couldn't put it down, they laughed and they cried, and they walked away feeling empowered, because I wrote the
Ooh.
book from an extrovert's point of view, because that's the
Mhm.
only point of view I know.
Yeah.
But it tells my story, but it also tells tips and tricks on how to check in on your extroverted friends, because
Ooh.
we are very hard to find out if we are truly depressed.
Yeah.
because you know what? We're kind of jerks. Okay, we wear a mask. Okay,
Yeah.
I wear a mask, but yeah, that's kind of my story, and I'm so grateful that we get to do this because every time we share our journey, we
Hmm.
unlock somebody else's prison.
Yo, yeah. That I've not heard that before, but that makes a lot of
It
sense.
does. I mean, think about like everybody you've interviewed, and
Hmm.
somebody might just be listening to that episode one day and be like, "Man, I'm kind of
Yep.
going through something similar." And we give, between both podcasts, we give some tips and tricks that like aren't normal, like standardized tips and tricks.
Okay.
And and even stuff that we gave out like 2 years ago, those websites have been taken down. So
Whoa.
our guests bring in different perspectives,
Hmm.
different tools and tips that they've tried.
Hmm.
And we're helping to like change the world. And we've had a couple of listeners reach out to us on Messenger, people I've never heard of in my life, thanking us. They
Aw.
found us on like Apple Podcasts and that we help them change, their trajectory of like healing. And, we had somebody else reach out to us and say thank you for giving them permission to speed date their therapist. That's dirty skittles.
Yeah.
That's dirty skittles
That's
like
awesome.
thing, but like
Uh-huh.
it, we're not really giving permission, but like
Mm.
if you're with the wrong therapist,
Oh, it's
dude,
bad for you.
like it's so bad. Like kick them to the curb and go to the
Hmm.
next.
Yeah,
And
you're
like
supposed to interview them.
yeah, interview them like you're going to interview for a job, okay?
Hmm.
Because these people, the nice thing about therapists is like they are the true ultimate like third person, right? They're not a friend, they're not a family member, they're not a spouse. They probably don't know you from Jack, but if you've
Hmm.
been with them for a long time, like they can help you see things about yourself that nobody else could help you see.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's my my therapist is like I love her so much.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think you should love your therapist because it's such an important relationship that's chosen or should be, but it's one that is going to go so deep that you need to be sure that you want that person to know your in and outs like that because they'll pull it on you. And the thing is that if you and your therapist don't like mesh well, it's just going to cause you much more turmoil in the head.
It is. It's like so important to have that really good relationship. And
Hmm.
for me, like my first therapist sucked. Like she looked
Mm.
like she was ready to take a nap the entire time I was talking to her. Like, well, you're
Oh
not helpful.
no. Oh
And like my
no.
my second therapist was like, okay, well, go do this workbook and like, come back to me in 6 weeks. Listen, girl, I need help right now,
Oh,
not 6 weeks from now.
yeah.
And then my third therapist, like she really got me and
Hmm.
helped me to, set boundaries. Like
Yeah.
I was 50, 59 and a half. I'd never set those boundaries before. If you're not setting boundaries
Wow.
now, do it. It's a game changer.
It's big.
It's huge. Taught me how to journal, taught me
Ooh.
how to put my shields up a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more. As an empath,
Uh-huh.
it's really hard. Sometimes you forget to put that shield up and you're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen now?
Uh-huh.
But
Uh-huh.
now with my shield is like this imaginary black box.
Uh-huh.
And if it smells like drama, man, it's got to meet some serious criteria before it gets to come in. Like, am I
Yeah.
going to benefit from this? If that answer is no, you don't get to come in. Am
Mm-hmm.
I going to get sucked into something I don't really want to do? That's still a no.
Yep.
How can I benefit from this? If it's something I can benefit from, they get to like inch their way in. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to open the door and be like, "Hey, yeah, whatever."
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I was taking care of everybody else, but I didn't take
Mm-hmm.
care of me.
Mm. Yeah.
And that's like that was a real like hard thing for me to deal with. And I'd been a people pleaser my entire life. And
Mm-hmm.
now no. You know who comes
Oh.
first now? Me.
You.
Me. Every day of the week. Me. And
Uh-huh.
y- yeah, have I lost some friends because of some decisions I've made?
Yeah.
Yes. But you know what? There's a season and a reason for some friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I I'm happy with my choices.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah,
I'm glad that you're happy with those choices.
it's hard work, man.
Oh
Hard,
yeah.
hard work. Like there's I think there's still some skeletons in the closet I'm not really like
Yeah.
interested in entertaining right now.
Uh-huh.
Maybe never, but the ones that I needed to address right
Mm-hmm.
away
Yeah.
were addressed right away. And
That's good.
out of that came this beautiful podcast, my book, and opening my own business. And
Yeah.
if anything, I want people to see me as a story of hope
Mm-hmm.
and know that like life does get better, but you really have to put a lot of work in. If there's no easy button ever.
No, there's really not. And I mean, I thought I found the easy button. I thought it was just a bottle of booze, you know? It's not. It made things so much worse.
It it,
But
it does, and it's not just that. It's
hmm,
negative self-talk.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you're talking badly to yourself, don't
Don't do
stop it.
it.
Stop.
Yeah.
Like you talk to yourself like you would text somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you actually say those words to their face?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not.
Yep.
Just be nice to yourself and you know, be kind.
Mm-hmm.
Kindness is a big thing right now. Like I said, the world's on fire.
It is.
Literally on fire.
Mm-hmm.
It costs you nothing to be kind because you
Mm-hmm.
have no idea what's going on with somebody,
Yep.
especially extroverts, because, like I said, we are
Yep.
masters of disguise. Just be nice. Just
Yep.
be nice. Like, if you don't have anything nice to say, maybe don't say anything at all. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. It kind of reminds me of that song by Bowling for Soup. Have you heard it?
No.
You haven't? So Bowling for Soup has a song called "Don't Be a Dick."
I need
It's
to find that
amazing.
song.
I mean, if you don't mind, we could probably play it on here. We probably just couldn't like have it in the final recording.
It's okay. Whatever.
But yeah, they here, let me look up some of the lyrics real quick, or let me just see if we can do a little something interesting. We like to do things a little different around here on Retrieving Sanity. But I want to say real quick, I'm just super proud of you for coming out and doing all this because even while you're an extrovert, talking about mental health, talking about feelings, talking about the shit that goes on in your head, and talking about how you're feeling, like what? No, that is still so hard to do in today's society because we've just been ingrained and programmed to not do it, to shut up, to ignore it, or that's bad thinking, even, you know? So,
Well, the problem with like doing that is that we feed into the stigma, right?
mm-hmm, yeah,
By me talking about my story, about you talking about your story, about our guests,
mm-hmm,
we are reducing that stigma one conversation at a time. And I will tell
yeah,
you, Keegan, over the last 3 years, I've seen a huge shift in LinkedIn, right? Where
mm,
companies didn't really talk about mental health and now they're
uh-huh.
kind of honing in on that. And that
Hmm.
makes my heart happy because,
Yeah.
45 years in corporate America, I will tell you only one company ever really did it right.
Hmm.
Everybody else kind of sucked at it because they didn't really have the tools. And, you know, if you can teach a manager how to identify stress and
Mm-hmm.
burnout and things like that, that makes them that much better of a manager because
Mm-hmm.
people with mental health issues don't just leave that at the door when they go to work.
Nope.
And they're not only dealing with their day-to-day job stress, but they're
Mm-hmm.
dealing with all the other shit that's coming at us every 14 seconds of the day.
Yeah.
And having companies like take that into consideration for me, that is warms my heart, is that
Yeah.
they are actually looking into that and want to, you know, make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where podcasting is so incredibly important.
Mm-hmm.
And we have kind of a responsibility now, right? Now
Yeah.
that we've started our shows is like being responsible about it, but also knowing that our listeners are not just here in the US. They are
Yeah.
worldwide listeners.
Yep.
And if we can give somebody a tip or a trick that will help them get to that next day and sometimes even that next minute,
Uh-huh.
that that's why we do this. I don't do it
Yep.
for my own personal glory.
Yeah.
And we are not famous by any means. Believe me, we are just two women trying to figure our shit out
Mm-hmm.
and talking to really amazing, amazing people in this world that have done similar things, right? And
Yeah.
have gone out and wanted to change the world because I think times are changing where that we
Mhm.
want to talk about it more because what
Mhm.
happens when you don't talk about it is
It's
that
a lie.
it's a lie and we have to talk about this.
Mhm.
We have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Be honest with yourself.
Yeah, and I think that that's where it really starts is being honest with yourself. I mean, even in the 12 steps, the first step is essentially being honest with oneself, just admitting that there is a problem. It doesn't necessarily say you have to fix it tonight. It just says, "Hey, is there a problem? Yes or no?" And, whenever I first did my first step, I did my first step for like 7 years because I was like, "Yeah, I got a problem," but I didn't do anything else. S-
But like when we get backed into a corner, and
Mhm.
for me that corner was Christmas Day,
Yeah.
where I had to come to terms with what was going on with me. And
Mhm.
as I was going through everything, like I couldn't find my voice and I couldn't find my footing because I didn't
Mhm.
understand what
Yeah.
was going on inside of me because I'd
Mhm.
never felt anything like that before in my life.
Yeah.
And being mad at myself because I
Mhm.
felt weak because I couldn't fix myself. And
Mhm.
that's kind of what like stopped me. And I was like, I can't fix this. I can't.
Mhm.
And so when I called 988, I will tell you that woman was she was she literally saved my life. I was 20 minutes, and I'm eternally grateful for them. And why some people may ask me like if I regret what happened. I don't. You know
Yeah.
why? Because
Because you
all
wouldn't
those
be here.
beautiful, amazing things happened
Mhm.
that I never expected. Like, and
Yeah.
never in a day. And I'm just I'm thankful. I'm
Yeah.
eternally grateful for everything.
Yeah. And it's amazing that you are. And I'm internally grateful for you, for the person that operated 988 on the other line, for you, and just everyone that's been a part of your path, whether it was good or bad, because ultimately it made you who you are. And without you being who you are, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Right.
So,
You know, and I there was just so many thoughts that had gone through my head. And
mhm.
I wanted to live. I
Yeah.
kind of wanted to see what was going to happen next. And
Mhm.
s- crazy things happened.
Mhm.
But like crazy cool things, like things I never ever anticipated. Like if you'd asked me 5 years ago if I was going to write a book or be on an award-winning podcast, yeah, those answers would have been no,
Uh-huh.
because I I needed this to happen. And
Yeah.
I'm not like a big believer in God. I'm not
Mhm.
super woo woo,
Mhm.
but that day there was a voice, and I don't know who it was. It could have been my mom. It could have been anybody,
Mhm.
but they were like, things are gonna get better.
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up calling 988.
Mm. I love that. I love that because it just kind of shows that there is a love out there that we don't necessarily have to understand. We just have to listen a little.
Yeah. Like
So,
put your ear to the ground.
mhm.
Go outside and ground yourself.
Yes.
I
Yes.
live in upstate New York. I can do that,
Mhm.
3 seasons out of the year. That 4th season, yeah, that means I gotta put on way too many clothes to, like, even think about doing that. But,
That's
like,
what potted plants are for.
yeah, but, like, here, like, we were just tonight, we were driving up the drive, and, we had a big old mama doe waiting for us
Aw.
in our yard. And,
Oh.
she was maybe 5 feet from me. She wasn't spooked at
Oh.
all. She just felt very comfortable in our
Mhm.
area. And,
Mhm.
got a little selfie with her, and I was like, "Okay, now go play." But, those are the things that keep me grounded.
Mhm.
Nature, getting my feet in the grass,
Mhm.
fishing,
Yeah.
things that bring me a little bit of solitude to just stop the shit that, like, is continue to, like, circle in your head.
Mhm.
And when I, first went through everything, I was going to the gym every day because that was like the only place I could get my brain to shut up
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I only wanted to like focus on two things. Don't fall off the treadmill and don't drop a weight on our foot. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
both
those
of
are.
those are going to hurt. And it was in the middle of January. So
Oh, even worse.
even worse. But now I do things that bring me a ton of joy.
Yeah.
And that helps me like work through some of the bad stuff. And,
Mm,
setting boundaries are not my favorite thing in the world, but
mm,
I need to protect me and my mental
yeah.
health. And being able to even recognize that now, because 5 years ago, I don't think I would have recognized it. But
Ooh, yeah.
now I can recognize what triggers me, what
Mm-hmm.
suits me, what doesn't suit me, and what's good for the rest of the world. And
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm super proud of myself.
Yeah. It's way too cool.
Yeah, it's just life is really super cool, and I'm just
Uh-huh.
super excited that I get to talk to hosts like you and
Mm-hmm.
share my story, and I hope that somebody's listening
Mm-hmm.
knows that they are loved, wanted, and needed in this world, and like
Yep.
don't give up on yourself. Like you
Uh-huh.
may feel like the world's given up on you, but don't give up on yourself.
Yeah.
Take a look on the inside and be like, shit, like what do I want to do with my life in 5 years? Don't ask me
Mm-hmm.
because I don't even know what I want to do in 5 years. Um, I'll be like freaking 100,000 years old. I feel
Oh,
100,000.
whatever.
Listen, I am 62, but I'm going to tell you that like I act like I'm 12, but my body will tell you every single day I am 62 years old.
Oh.
But Dirty Skittles and I
Mm-hmm.
were super, super fortunate.
Yeah.
Super fortunate we get to do this and
Mm-hmm.
just changing the world. And
Yeah.
that's all I really want to do is change the world, change people's perception,
Mm-hmm.
and help them like get to that next minute.
Yeah. And that next minute is what can literally be the minute that counts.
Yes.
So.
And like if you're an attempt survivor,
Mm-hmm.
just be super cognizant of what your triggers are,
Mm-hmm.
of what suits you, what doesn't suit you.
Mm-hmm.
And your story is not just about your suicide attempt. It is
Yeah.
what you did with your life after that.
Yep. Yep. And that's one of the things. Real quick, you kind of triggered a quote. I don't remember from who, but it's the one that I haven't remembered in a long time. But it was something along the lines of, if you're watching a movie and you don't like it, do you necessarily get up and walk out of the theater, or do you want to see how it ends? It's kind of the same thing. Like, well, shit, like I want to see how my life ends. I don't want to like cut the cord early. So it's like, damn it. Ah.
Sometimes you just have to dig really
Mm-hmm.
deep. And that's what I did. I dug really deep and I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? The world is a better place because I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I I get to learn and do creative shit every day. Now that I own my own business, I don't answer
Mm-hmm.
to anybody but me. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, if
Um,
Mama wants to take a nap, she's taking a nap. Okay.
real quick, Gretchen, where can people find you if they're looking for your podcast, for your services, or anything like that?
So there's two places. If you want to
Okay.
learn more about the podcast, go out to goesoninourheads.net.
Okay.
And if you want to learn more about my business and my business model, go out to shosersolutions.com.
Okay.
You can find us everywhere. We are on Spotify. You know what?
There's a
We're
lot.
everywhere.
There
There's
was
a lot.
I remember going through real quick. I was like, okay, they're on a lot more channels than I realized that are out there for podcasts.
Yeah, listen, like it's the craziest thing. Like we get to see what the Apple rankings are. Like
Hmm.
I want to know who's listening to us in Russia. Okay, I just would like to know, and I also want to know how the word "fuck" translates in Russia. Okay, because use that word a lot.
I mean, I think fuck is one of those that is fairly universal at this point.
It should be because I use it a lot. I've been a lot better lately. Like it kind of depends on the guest, and I
Uh-huh.
kind of like watch my tone.
Hmm.
But it's not just a sentence enhancer.
No.
It can describe so many other things, and
Yep.
just really grateful to you,
Yeah.
Keegan. Really proud of you for what you've done for yourself and what you do for your listeners and your guests, and just for yourself. And the world is a better place because you're here and because you decided to stay.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
It is one of those things that I've always had a hard time accepting those kind of things, but it does mean a lot to hear that from someone such as yourself because it's one of those things to have a therapist, whenever they're kind of helping you through the shit and you're like, all right, cool, what you're saying is cool, but you're missing experience yourself. So it's nice whenever someone like that's seen shit can tell someone else, be like, hey, I see you. Everything's valid. I'm proud of you too. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like when somebody like says that to me, I'm like, oh, girl, whatever. Do you
Yeah.
know what's going on inside of here? Because I'm not sure if you do.
Yeah.
But hey,
Uh,
um, but podcasters like you and I,
hmm.
um, we are really fortunate
Yeah.
because unlike radio and television, which are geographically based,
Hmm.
podcasting's not,
No.
and it's a love language, and we
Hmm.
are out there making a difference. And if
Yeah.
there's anything that we can do in the world is make a difference. And if somebody's like thinking about, hey, I want to do a podcast, you know what? Go get a microphone,
Yep.
go find a hosting company, go
Uh-huh.
find a way to record and edit because the world needs your voice.
Yep.
And while there's 4.3 million different podcasts out there,
Hmm.
your story might be that story that saves somebody's life.
Yep. That's exactly right. And it's crazy because in the rooms, like the recovery rooms, there's a saying that goes around that's something along the lines of you never know whose wounds your words will fit. So, and that's the thing because whenever I first got into recovery, I was hearing all these different stories like you, or stories that were less eventful, I should say, or stories that were way more eventful. And like the more eventful ones, I was like, oh, I did not like, I don't even deserve to be in this room. Like they deserve all the accolades and attention. Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to like steal their spotlight. But that's the thing is that we're all sharing different parts of the same story, and a lot of that is pain. And
Yeah.
we've been comparing pain from one person to another, saying, oh, my pain is worse than yours, and you'll never understand my pain. But that's the thing is that how am I supposed to understand your pain if you don't open up to me? And how are you supposed to understand mine if I never open up to you?
Right.
But that's
And
hard.
like you said, the street goes both ways. And
Hmm.
we have to be willing to listen.
Yeah.
And like if you have a friend out there that you could really depend on anything, there's a great video. It's on YouTube. It's from Simon Sinek and it's called 8 Minutes. Every time I
Mm.
watch that video, I cry.
Oh,
But we always have 8 minutes for somebody. If
yeah.
somebody reaches out and they just want to talk, listen with your ears, not with your mouth, because nine
Hmm.
times out of 10, we just need to vent.
Yeah.
We need somebody to hear us out. We don't need you to fix us. We just need you to hear us out because maybe we are spiraling and
Hmm.
or something really triggering happened to us. But
Hmm.
if you're offering to be there at any second of the day, actually mean it
Yeah.
because that conversation could save somebody's life.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think that I'd have to agree that in my experiences with myself and other people is that we just want to be heard. We just want to be validated. We want to be understood. We want to be seen. And that's things that I know sometimes in my youth, I would try to help people out whenever they were venting to me and they're like, never mind, it'd piss them off or whatever. And I totally get that, now. But that was the thing is that I don't necessarily want my problems fixed. I just want someone to understand that I'm having a really fucking hard time right now and this fucking sucks.
Yes. 100%. And like if you have that friend, you are extremely fortunate.
Hmm.
But for people that don't have those friends, once again, you're struggling, call 988 because it
Yeah.
is not just for suicide ideation, it is for
No.
crisis. And they
Yes.
are there to help you. And
Yep.
if you don't have the money for a
Hmm.
therapist, go to a support group. I
Hmm.
did,
Yeah.
and I
Ooh.
shared. and I was nervous as fuck. But you know what? I found out there were other people out there that were kind of going through something similar. Maybe
Yeah.
not my exact story,
Uh-huh.
but how they dealt with it. And there are resources out there. I know it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Support groups are free, and they
Yeah.
have them live. They have them online.
Mm-hmm.
Join a support group.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised how much it helps.
Yeah. So real quick, since you're throwing out that idea, what kind of support groups come off to the top of your head? Which ones did you go to? Because I'm recovery based, so I'm like AA, NA, CA, whatever A kind of thing. A.
I went to two. So I went to one for suicide ideation
Okay.
for attempt survivors.
Okay.
And then I went to another one just on general depression, just trying to
Okay.
understand what was going on in my head because
Yeah.
I didn't understand it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck is this? And like, shut up, brain. Like, shut up. Just
Mm-hmm.
shut up.
Yeah.
But, once I started to find out how to regulate my sleep, which was
Mm-hmm.
key,
Yeah. Yeah.
setting boundaries was the
Uh-huh.
next one,
Uh-huh.
putting up my shield a lot faster than I knew how to in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and also being very honest about how I felt and
Oh.
taking my mask off.
Mm-hmm.
That saves me every single day now. And yes, I'm allowed to be vulnerable and it's allowed to
Mm-hmm.
be messy. Listen, my recovery has been anything but like pristine,
Mm-hmm.
but it's my recovery, right?
Yeah.
And don't compare yourself to somebody else and how they're recovering.
Mm-hmm.
It's you know what? It's not a game.
Yeah.
It
Yep. Yep.
is
Yep.
make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
And like if that means that you are a recovering alcoholic or you are uh, recovering drug user, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Find something that makes you happy. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, on my phone, and
Uh-huh.
thanks to Dirty Skittles, she taught me this.
Okay.
I have a file of things that bring
Ooh.
me joy. And
Oh.
so when I'm in a really bad mood,
Uh-huh.
I will go back and look at those photos, and it puts a huge smile on my face.
Aw.
Smiling and laughter are two things that can make you feel better.
Mm-hmm.
So in the mornings now, and since January 20th of this year, I've been doing the same thing every morning, including the weekends.
Huh.
I start my day with a 20-minute funny video. And right now, like I'm into like squirrels, raccoons, and baby goats. Oh, wait, and the bears that are like either swimming in the pool or jumping on the trampolines because they make me laugh. And then the other thing that I do is after I watch that 20-minute video is I stand up and tell myself what I'm grateful for that day because a
Mm-hmm.
gratitude practice is one of the best practices you can have. It's got a real heart and mind connection.
Uh-huh.
And so like you can start that. And then I also call Dirty Skittles every day. So even though like we don't
Ooh.
work together,
Uh-huh.
I still call her every day because she's still working at her horrible job. And
Ah.
I want to make her laugh about shit we should never ever laugh about. So
But that's the whole point. That's where it started, right?
yeah.
Why would you stop that?
Yeah, why would I stop now? Like we laugh about shit you should never ever ever laugh about. I'm telling you. But it's how I find my joy and
Uh-huh.
how I thank her every single day
Mm,
because Dirty Skittles was part of my recovery journey
yeah.
and I get to do this with my best friend.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm eternally grateful for that. So,
Yeah, for sure. And thank you for correcting me without saying so. That your journey is also recovery based because just because mine was more substance use, but I still had a lot of mental health stuff to deal with too because undiagnosed ADHD or ADHD my whole life, and now was misdiagnosed bipolar. Maybe I am actually bipolar. Like, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes on, and suicidal ideations is one of those things that I'm also recovering from. But that's the thing is that I didn't mean to steal the thunder of recovery from you because you highlighted it so well that recovery looks different for everyone. You
it
know,
does.
there is no two paths that are the same. So I love that you highlighted that because it's amazing because so many people I stayed out of trying to get better because I was like, I don't want to do what they're doing or I can't do what they're doing. And so it kept me in the shit for a long time, but once I figured out, oh, I don't have to do everything exactly the way that it's laid out this way, or I can figure out my own way a little bit, but with guidance and everything, I can reach out, I can ask for help, I can ask for directions. It doesn't have to be all loom. It doesn't have to be doom and gloom, you
No, it
know?
doesn't. And like you can make your recovery fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I try
Start a
to
podcast.
start a podcast. You know, start watching dumbass videos. I am telling you, that's the best way to start your morning. Like, just go check out like baby raccoons and squirrels because they're
Okay.
both evil, but they're funny when they're little. But also remind yourself that you you are a good person, right? We
Mm-hmm.
all go through our own variation of shit from
Yeah.
day to day.
Yep.
But the the world needs you,
Mm-hmm.
and we want you here, and we want you to get better.
Yeah.
But give yourself patience and grace because nothing fucking gets fixed in a day. Like
No.
I wish it did. Like I wish I had a big old, remember the Staples like easy button? I want
Yeah.
to fucking like fix my mental messiness. Like I just
Mm-hmm.
want to punch it like 42 times. But you know, also like with your friends and your
Mm-hmm.
family, offer them patience and grace too because
Yeah.
they're learning.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to see the new
Mm-hmm.
you versus the old you.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
Um, but be proud of yourself every
Yeah.
single day because like you chose you. You decided to choose you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
And I think those are really important qualities for anybody that has gone through any type of
Mm-hmm.
recovery is you chose you.
Yeah.
Nobody else did that for you. You did
Mm-hmm.
it for yourself. And
Yep.
that's something to be super proud of.
Yeah, it is. And I like to tell people that they're remaking themselves every day in recovery because, just like you said, they are choosing themselves. They should be intentional with their day. They should be sitting there and, if they're like me, figuring out who the hell they are and making their identity instead of letting labels choose who they are and what they do,
Yeah.
you know? So,
I mean, look at me. I'm 62 now and
mhm.
I'm reinventing myself every single
Yeah,
day.
it's
Like
awesome.
things weren't working out with the way I originally wanted to do my company, so I
Hmm.
pivoted. And now I'm gonna do my joy course and do shit that makes me happy, makes my
Yeah.
heart happy.
Hmm.
Because once we're happy, the other people that surround us,
Hmm.
they feel that joy, they feel that happiness,
Yep.
and always, always, always remind yourself to thank them
Hmm.
for sticking by you because
Yeah.
it's a choice for them
Hmm.
and they could just like dip out any second. But
Yeah.
for those people that have stuck with you
Hmm.
through your entire recovery, like do something nice for them.
Yeah.
A simple thank you goes a
Hmm.
long fucking way.
Yeah.
Be considerate of their
Hmm.
time and their energy.
Hmm.
They all have their own shit they're dealing with, but if they have stuck with you and have figured out that you're trying to heal yourself
Hmm.
and they give you like really good kudos or like give you a pat on the back, give them the same thing because
Yep.
they may be going through something else,
Yeah.
but may not let up onto you because they know
Mm.
you're already struggling. So
Yeah.
be cognizant of the people around you
Hmm.
and, you know, just remember self love and self care because at the end of the day, I was not taking care of me. I took
Yeah.
care of everybody else. I thought I did a really good job, but
Hmm.
apparently, like shit fell through the cracks. But I get to talk about this now. And even if you're in your late 50s or 60s or 70s,
Hmm.
it is never too late to start over,
No.
ever.
Mm-mm.
And find the thing that brings you joy. Like, don't chase the money and chase the dream because I'm just going to tell you,
Hmm.
money brings you a lot of bullshit that you don't want to fucking deal with.
Yeah.
Find the things that bring you joy
Hmm.
because that will make you want to get up every morning and go do that thing again.
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah,
I love that. Thank you for sharing that wonderful insight with us.
you're welcome.
Yeah. It does make me have to ask though, do you think that we could see you on in the future again? Because we are getting close to the end of this episode.
Oh, yeah, you can see me as long as you want to.
Sweet. Because I mean, I'm excited to see the kind of rabbit holes that we could dive down because this is just awesome being able to speak with someone that is so open and honest about everything that is going on in their head because it's hard to open that walnut sometimes, because it's just sometimes people want that attention to say have some people want the attention of people asking them what's wrong. Some people don't know that there's something wrong. Some people think that they're fine, they'll figure it out, even though they're really falling apart. But other people might be able to see it, so on and so forth. The world is a crazy place, like you said. It's on fire, and everyone deserves to be heard and seen.
I think
So
that they do. I think like maybe one of the next topics we could talk about is like extroverts and
yeah,
and especially people in recovery that are
hmm
extroverts and
hmm
how if you know somebody that maybe needs to get into recovery
hmm
and how to talk to them because
yeah,
extroverts we are our own special breed of like messed up in the fucking head
uh-huh,
and we don't want to tell anybody because we'd
yep.
rather just joke around and play around with life and be like hey everything's fine and in the back of their head we're like I fucking hate everybody. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Just let it end. When will it end?
When will this shit stop? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'd love to come back on. You can come see
Sweet.
me. You can come find me anytime.
Awesome. I'm so appreciative of that. And we'll set up our next one as soon as we're on the after call. But I also got to say, I think one of the ways that we can highlight to people that are really going through it, that are sitting there saying that they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, they might want to die every day. They may want to finish it off, but they still wake up. And I think that is sign enough that they want to see the next day.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
so.
I I just want to come give you a big hug. I'm not getting on a plane anytime soon though. So
Well, that's fair. I'm a hugger myself, so if we ever run into each other, we'll give each other a big bear hug.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. I would love that. But yes,
Same.
I think that there's so much we can talk about just from
Hmm.
both sides of recovery,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And you also have a little bit of a techie side to you as well. So
I do. I'm a nerd.
yeah. Yeah, and that's awesome. But you're also using it with your recovery, which leads us into our little game show if you want to play real quick.
I do. Let's play it.
Awesome. So, Gretchen, we're going to play Tech It or Leave It. I'm going to throw you some common tech and wellness solutions, and you let us know if you would tech it, as in you would use it, or leave it because it may just be worthless. Are you ready to
Okay.
play?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, up first, meditation apps like Headspace or Calm.
I think I'm for me I would check it because for me I have a little bit of ADHD. Like I
Okay.
can't fucking sit still for like 2 seconds. So,
Yeah.
but for other people it may work, but for
Yeah.
me it doesn't.
Fair enough. Fair enough. There's that honesty. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Here's one: AI chatbots for therapy support.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I did use one.
I have to.
Um but I used it so I'm going to tech that. I used it because I couldn't get a hold of my own therapist and I needed
Ooh.
to get just some insight of what like how to reframe something in my head.
Ooh, okay. So you're not relying on it, but you're saying don't neglect it or don't dismiss it either.
Don't dismiss it. I mean, because some of the information is really good, and it
Mm-hmm.
really kind of depends on like the prompt that you put in there.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it helped me get wait until I could get to see my therapist, but gave me some
Gotcha.
context.
Okay. I love that. So seek it for support, but don't use it as a pillar of foundation.
Yes,
Got it. All right. So how about online peer support groups and forums?
yes, tech it every single day,
All
because
right.
for me, I live in rural upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
There is not a lot of places for us to like check in and be in person. So
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Okay. Sweet. Okay. Up next, wearable stress trackers such as a Fitbit or an Apple Watch.
hell yeah, every day. Listen, I got mine on right now. Okay.
Yeah.
This just makes sure that like I'm actually getting my fat ass out of my chair and like walking. And I also monitor my heart rate. So my heart rate's really good right now. But yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Heck yeah. Awesome. Uh, so how about this one? Pen and paper journaling.
every single day. Tech it.
Ooh. Okay.
Tech it. That's how I wrote my book.
Ah, really? By hand?
I wrote my journals by hand,
Uh-huh.
and then as I was writing my book, I would go back through my journal. And this is a
Ooh.
cool thing with that. What I did is I pulled out the parts that I wanted in my book, and
Uh-huh.
everything that was like super negative and gave me like bad nightmares again, I
Mm-hmm.
crumpled into a piece of paper. And
Ooh.
once we have our fall fire, I'm going to chuck that baby in the fire and let it burn.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
Yeah.
I love that. That symbology is amazing.
Yeah. Bye. Bye,
Yeah.
Felicia.
All right. Up next, TikTok or Instagram Reels as sources of mental health advice.
Okay. So I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Okay.
I am 62 years old, so I'm having a hard time with the TikTok thing.
Okay.
Like not my genre, but I
Mm-hmm.
do use Instagram, but
Mm-hmm.
not just for mental health stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
use it instead of like going down the rabbit hole. I use it to
Uh-huh.
help me find my joy.
Ooh.
So that's
Yeah.
how my algorithm is set up now. It's like all funny, fucked up animal videos. So yeah, and some cooking thrown in.
Fair enough. Maybe not cooking the animals, maybe cooking the animals.
No, no cooking animals. No.
Okay.
Like, who wants to eat raccoon? Okay,
Oh,
or a
yeah,
baby
no.
bear? No,
No,
nada.
no.
Oh,
Yeah, good point. So, you'd say tech that one, right?
check it.
Awesome. Okay, up next, gamified mental health apps like mood tracking with streaks and rewards.
Check it.
Tech
And
it?
it's actually something that I'm building into some of the software I'm building out for companies.
Ooh, okay. Maybe we accidentally hit a secret paywall. So, virtual reality therapy experiences.
I have not tried that.
I haven't either. I've only decided to ask one of the Discord community members if they've tried to do VR to help them with the PTSD episode, and they said that is sounds really cool. I don't know if they've tried it yet or not.
I have a MetaQuest. So I have a
Ooh.
Quest. I think maybe I'll check that out. And
Okay.
I'll come back to you and let you know how it works out. Like it either
Sweet.
like freak me the fuck out or it will be helpful. So I'll come back to you on that one.
Awesome. Love it. All right. Traditional hotlines versus text-based crisis support.
I've used them both. And
Use
so
them both.
check it.
Check
Yep.
it.
I
Got it.
100% am in alignment with that.
Okay. Sweet. And then daily gratitude apps versus old school sticky notes on the mirror.
Old school sticky notes on the mirror because you know what? I get to get up every morning and tell
Uh-huh.
myself how much I love myself.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. I love that.
I love
So,
it.
with that, tech it or leave it, Gretchen, you have blessed us with, I think, every single one of those you said you would tech. So, aside from the AI chatbots, just don't dismiss them, but don't rely on them.
Do not
Now,
rely on them ever.
yeah, don't go into AI psychosis. But with that, you have earned the title of the Digital Resilience Builder for Retrieving Sanity. So, thank you for playing.
Thank you.
Of course. Uh, so, man, I've just got to say, this has been an amazing conversation, and I've had a ton of fun, and I can't wait for our next conversation
Yeah,
because
me
I'm
either.
just, this rabbit hole train is going to keep going.
It will. And like, two different types of recovery, but we're
Hmm.
all still kind of going through the same thing, same
Hmm.
traumas, same everything.
Yep.
I, for people out there, take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
Please take care of yourselves. Life
Hmm.
can hit you in the ass before you even think it can. So be
Hmm.
good to yourself and be proud of yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And one last question, Gretchen. Um, let's see. The name of this podcast is Retrieving Sanity, and we explore how all facets of living life impact mental health. Looking at the incredible motley adventures of your life, what does retrieving sanity personally mean to you today, and what's one practice or belief you believe is crucial for anyone on that journey?
Share your story.
Ooh, okay.
Don't hold it all in. Share your story. Let
Ooh,
people know where you're at.
yeah, For sure. Ew, I love that. Ooh, short, sweet, and powerful too. So thank you.
You're very welcome. I am short. Maybe sometimes a little sweet. I don't know.
I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry.
I've been a little rabid lately. Like a little rabid raccoon. So, you know,
Fair enough. And one more time for everyone else out there, where can they find you again? Because you got two websites.
2 websites. So, podcast,
Okay.
go out to goesonourheads.net,
Okay.
and want to learn more about my company, go to schosersolutions.com.
Awesome. So, with that being said, man, I don't want this episode to be over, but at the same time, we've got to kind of cut it and edit it. So, everyone out there, thank you for listening to Retrieving Sanity on WDJY 99.1 FM. And this has been Keegan and Gretchen with Shit That Goes On in Our Head podcast. Be sure to check us out next week. And also, I gotta say, remember, love yourself, love others if you can, but you gotta love yourself first. Try your best to just be a nice person because it's really not that hard. She even said it. So, with that, much love. Shalom.
Love this. Love this. Such a great